Well, hey, it's me, Aaron Lopresti. Welcome to AaronCon 4, my special San Diego Comic-Con edition. I know a lot of us were planning on being in San Diego this weekend, and we're a little bummed that we're not. I think I've been going for 33 straight years and haven't missed a year. And I've been telling other people online that, well, the show technically isn't happening this year, so therefore we're technically not missing it. So my streak of consecutive shows will continue next year, hopefully. And this will just be one of those things with an asterisk by it. The year was canceled because of COVID-19 or something. But as far as I'm concerned, my streak is still alive. But anyway, I've set up a con, much like a con table, much like we've seen in previous Aaron cons. I do have some new artwork from Justice League that I want to show you that I'm kind of excited about. I'll be selling sketchbooks. I'll be selling prints. I'll be selling original artwork, comic books signed. I'll be doing con sketches. I actually have a little bit of surprise for Jaws fans out there. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to get Terry Dodson to join me on one of these days. He's kind of doing his own thing as well this weekend, which I think a lot of creators are. So it became a little bit more problematic to try and get someone to just sort of drop in on your virtual live stream when they're doing their own. So I imagine you guys as viewers are going to be spending a lot of time jumping back and forth to see who's doing what's what. And I know that Comic-Con is going to have like virtual panels and stuff going on. So I'm sure there's a lot of interesting things going on this weekend. And I'm just one of many hopefully interesting things going on this weekend. So again, thanks for joining me. Let's see if anybody's here yet. Well, there's 9 people watching. That's darn near a crowd, isn't it? So let's take a look at the table, see what I've got to offer, and I guess we'll go from there. You'd think that I'd be, really professional and really good at this by now. But I'm not. I'm still winging it, so maybe someday I'll actually figure it out. But let's turn our attention over here to the table. First, I'll show you my banner. Ignore all the garbage and boxes piled up behind me there. So this is the banner you might see, or actually you definitely would see, at if you're at Comic-Con this weekend. One of my many banners. I share a booth every year with Terry Dodson, so we'd have a big corner booth with several banners up, both his and mine. And lots of good stuff for you guys to check out. And we're going to start right here. Stephen Ing has joined us. He says, hey, Aaron Lopresti. I say hi, Stephen. Thank you for joining me. John Smith has joined us. John Smith is no doubt desperately wanting to know if I'm going to do his Creature from the Black Lagoon sketch live on camera today. And we'll find out really shortly, won't we? Let's take a look here at exactly what I'm offering and why. Well, the why should be obvious. The first thing I want you to take a look at is my Raw Imagination 20 years of sketches sketchbook back there on the little pedestal. That's a, let me switch banners here so this is scrolling down there so you guys can see the information. Okay, it's a $25 hardcover, 64-page color sketchbook. My last and greatest one yet. I'm offering those at $25 a piece, signed and numbered, limited edition to 750 copies. Or you have the option of getting a head sketch. Let me try that again. A headshot sketch inside the book for $45. And this weekend only, because of San Diego Comic-Con, it's free shipping. So it's like if you were at the con, you said, Aaron, give me a sketchbook, and I'd say, here it is. You wouldn't have to pay shipping, right? So that's what I'm doing this weekend. No shipping on the sketchbooks, no shipping on the prints. Everything else, they're shipping. So, I'm kind of being a nice guy, but not totally being a nice guy. So let's take maybe a bit of a closer look here. That one hasn't been opened. You can hear it crackling. We got Conan on the title page there, or a Conan-like character. cave girl with a bear to open the book. I mean, come on. We start off with some dinosaur action, followed by some Universal Monsters. A Frazetta-inspired werewolf piece over here on the left-hand side. Some other concept art, John Carter of Mars stuff. I have a lot of ideas for prints and illustrations that never get beyond the sketchbook stage, but that's why they're in here. So there's lots of good stuff in here, just to give you an idea. Again, the ordering instructions for this particular book are scrolling across the bottom of the screen, even as I speak. You just have to PayPal me at aaron@aaronlopresti.com the amount of money, and let me know which sketchbook version you want. You want a sketch in it? If you do, let me know who you want sketched in it, and make sure your address is in there, and I'll do it and send it off to you. It's that freaking simple. Let's see who else has joined us. Fly Fox Pro says the sketchbook and sketch is a steal, and boy isn't he right. So don't pass up that opportunity if you don't have one. Andrew J has joined us. I think he just got one. Cheryl Lane, my cousin, is here. Hi, Aaron. Awesome sketchbook. I love mine. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you dropping in and plugging my sketchbook for me. Another satisfied customer. Just because she's related to me doesn't mean that she's lying. Okay, let's take a look at the comics. Now, the comics are an interesting thing. Those of you who are keeping up with my career, which I hope is all of you, I'm currently working on some Justice League stuff. But just prior to that, I did some Aquaman. This is Aquaman number 56. This is the Aquaman 56 variant cover. Either one of these is available, signed by me. All the comics are $250 that are on the table. Yes, that is correct. So every comic on here is $250. I have just one. Well, let me move that over here. I got these backwards. Okay, so the first issue of Justice League I did was issue 41. And there's two covers available. I have a ton of the regular edition. That's the Brian Hitch cover. And then I have, I think I have several of these 41s, the variant edition. And those are $250 a piece. I only have this one 42 left of the variants for issue 42, but I do have a stack of regular editions that have the Brian Hitch cover. Those are all $250. Now the more recent stuff is Justice League 48 and 49. I believe 48, this is a regular cover, and then the Claudio Castellini variant for 48. 49, I don't know who did that, but that's a variant, and then the regular edition. Okay, these are all also $250 a piece. I think I only have like 3 of these. And then of course over here, if you hadn't seen this, this is a prestige format, Infinite Crisis Dark Multiverse number 1. I have one of the regular covers left, and then 2 of the variant covers there that have absolutely nothing to do with the issue. So anyway, that's what I have available. And so what's the deal on these? Well, you have to get $10 worth of comic books because it's just not worth it to me to put all this stuff together and ship it out unless you buy $10 worth of comics from me. I think shipping on these is between $3 and $5. It depends on how many books you get. And for the first 3 people that want comics, I'll throw in one of these flash issues. I have no idea what this is. DC sent me 3 copies of this. I didn't do anything in the book. There's no reason why they sort of sent this to me, and yet they did. So it's got to be a variant cover for something. Flash 754. So if you're just curious to get one of those, I won't sign it because I didn't do anything in it. And I don't know why I haven't, but I do. But I'll just throw one of those in for free for the first 3 comic book orders. You're going to have to email me or message me to order the comics. You can't just pay me on PayPal because on some of the, especially if you want one of the variants, because I have a limited edition of the limited amount of variants. So if you just blindly send me money, by the time I get your order, I may be out of them. So just make sure you message me or email me at aaron@lopresti.com and let me know what you want, if you want any of these. And I also have other comics from my past, like tons. If you're saying, man, I really would like to get a run of Sludge or something like that, contact me because I have those available too. But I'm just, I have so many comics over 30 years that I obviously can't put them all on this table. So now let's take a look at the prints that I have available. Nothing, well, I shouldn't say nothing new because I do have something new, but not in this size. The first one is this Captain America print, which I call Captain's Quarry. Has all these villains on there, or at least my favorite villains. These are $15 a piece, signed and numbered, free shipping this weekend only. I have the always popular Warrior Nouveau. This is the open edition. I sold out of the signed and numbered limited edition, but here's the open edition. So that is available for $15, free shipping. Warrior in Repose, another Wonder Woman-esque type print, $15, signed and numbered, limited edition to $150. Girl Power, one of my all-time best-selling, if not my best-selling print of all time. A Wonder Woman Superman piece. These are an open edition or remastered edition, I believe I have on here, because the signed and numbered sold out. So these are available for $15, no shipping. This is my Star Wars Princesses print. It's printed on kind of a textured watercolor paper, so it feels more like real art. That's limited edition, signed and numbered 100, $15, no shipping. Okay, then we have my mini Jaws poster, movie poster print. The catch with this is I now have available in very limited number, 24 by 36 of this. So it's basically like, the Mondo posters or the Bottleneck Gallery posters are all 24 by 36. That's what I've got of this movie poster. So if you want one that's actually darn close to movie poster size, you can get one of those, and I'll show you that in a minute. Little Leaguers, my most unsuccessful print of all time. Got tons of them. It's cute. Limited edition, signed and numbered, 100 copies. $15. You guessed it, no shipping. One of my faves, I just recently sold in Chicago, the only show I did this year. I sold the original art to this. I'm kind of regretting it because it's really a nice piece. But anyway, I'm a commercial artist, so I sell what I draw. That's how I pay my bills. It's a really strange thing. Anyway, so it's Rosie the Riveteer. We Can Do It. Limited edition, 150 of those, $15, no shipping. The Coral Princess looks surprisingly like the Little Mermaid if she was a big mermaid. And limited edition to 150 of these, signed and numbered, $15, no shipping. Amazing Spider-Man, we just call it Amazing. And it's only got 100 of these available, $15. My Lana Turner Supergirl San Diego 1946 print. Maybe you're feeling, hey, I'm missing San Diego this year. I want to get this print to make me feel like I'm closer to San Diego. At the Hotel Coronado back there. Excuse me, that's not COVID. Everybody first says, oh, it's Maryland. No, it's Lana Turner. At least it was based on Lana Turner. The swimsuit style is actually a 1946 swimsuit, but Supergirl colors, as you can tell. $15. So those are the prints I have available. I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm already drying up. Okay, so as you look at my table, and I stand off to the side, I'm preparing a magic trick. No, not really. But I'm going to show you if I can get fantastic. I can't get them out of the poster. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, I can't get these posters out of the poster tube. I still may not be able to. They're in there pretty dang tight. Okay, there they are. All right. You can see my shadow going, what the heck is he doing? I just want to show you these gigantic Jaws posters. Check it out. So if you're at San Diego, like at the Mondo booth, They wouldn't be there because Mondo didn't do these, but it would be just like that. You can kind of see it sideways there. So anyway, and these will come signed. They're not limited edition or anything, but I've only got about 5 of them printed up right now. So, because I imagine the demand is somewhat limited for something like this, but they are available if you'd like them. They are $40, signed by me, and I think I'm going to say shipping. I think is $8 on these because you have a much bigger poster tube than the other ones. So anyway, so I got those for the kind of my new specialty item. If anybody wants one of those big posters of Jaws, I know I would if I were you, but you know, I can't really speak for you. I can only offer it up. All right, so let's take a look at some original artwork now. Not a ton of it because I'm not going to bore you with going through everything I've ever drawn, but I do kind of want to show you this. These Justice League pages of what I got. I split up my thinker, Matt Ryan. The first 2 issues, 48 and 49, which have already hit the stands, of course. I've also got the pages back for 50, but since it hasn't come out yet, I can't exactly show you, can I? I mean, I could, but I'm not supposed to, so I won't. All right, let's do this. See if I can click in here and get us a little bit closer without... And I will answer your comments in just a second. That's a little too close. Okay. As you look at that, you know, the sucky thing about this is the resolution still isn't very good on these live feeds. My camera, I'm looking at the image from my camera on my screen, and it's sharp, and it's clear, and it's wonderful. And then I look at what you guys are actually seeing on YouTube or Facebook, and it's like sort of fuzzy, which kind of sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. So much for great technology, right? Okay, let's see who's here as you guys are looking at that page. I saw the drawing I tried to draw the other day. Yes, remember you posting that. SDA, hi Aaron. John Smith says I stole 3 of them. That must have been a joke earlier when I was talking and not paying attention to what you guys were writing behind my back. Hector Medina's here. He says, can you flick through the sketchbook when you have a chance? Flip or flick. Yes, I will do that again, Hector. Just hang on 1 minute. Johnny Fitz is here. Yo, Johnny, thanks for joining us. SDA, sorry, Artist Alley thing on the Sdcc con floor. I'm actually glad someone saw it. Terry and I put up some stuff on there. It's basically what I've got offered here, but make them into stickers. Yeah, well, if I could sell them to more than one person, maybe I would. Nice ass with the towel, thank you. Humphrey Bear is here, says glug. I'm sure that means something to somebody. There are other Sdcc related prints on his Artist Alley thing currently on the Sdcc. Yeah, those are probably Terry's prints because they're sort of, they conflated both of us together. They're not separate. We're not separate. We're all considered the same booth. So there's like some of the prints that he did are up there. Some of the prints I did are there. So you sort of have to read the fine print because everything I have here is up on that site. And, or, well, the main ones, or I have more here than is up on the Sdcc site. But some of the other ones are Terry's. Don't forget to hit the like. Yes, you guys, I need likes and I need followers. If you're watching me on Facebook, please do that. Hi, Aaron. Hope the family are. Bert Van Vliet chimes in from Canada. Hi, Bert. Thanks for joining us. Free shipping. Nice. Nice. Well, you guys did always share a physical booth. That's true. We shall share a physical booth and a virtual booth. All right, so let's get on with this. So I got that one. Here's the big splash page of the issue. There's this big old alien monster I had to design. I had to design the ship too. Chewing on that ship. Our heroes are down here in the foreground, checking out the action. This is kind of a cool page, as it has their little, I almost said Avengers jet, but their little Justice League jet zipping through here. I'm going to go in here a little bit closer so you can, oops, where is it? So you can see a little jet. I'm using it as a panel border, and Batman and the Flash in the first panel are upside down because the ship's upside down. And just so you can see that more clearly, oops. Flash is looking for a place to barf. This Batman, of course, never barfs. He's too cool. Okay. The team with some aliens on the planet. There's a nice little team shot down here at the bottom. These aren't in any particular order. These are all from issue 48, though. We got Flash discovering what's inside the ship, and it's alien kids. So sad, so sweet. We got a little Wonder Woman in her outer space mask that I designed. Thank you very much. Will I ever get a toy? Oh, probably not. Okay. This is some other aliens and their big alien weird-looking robot that I also had to design. Oh, now we're back inside the ship. This is from earlier in the issue. Wonder Woman and the crew gang talking to some of the alien kids. Sort of the royal palace alien queen of this planet that they've sort of landed on. That's her throne right there, and this is kind of the balcony that overlooks the where her followers or her minions or whatever. So she can look down on them. This whole thing was sort of, I had to design this sort of, she's the only one, let me see, how do I want to say this? The races on this planet are either organic or tech, and she's the only one that can marry both organic and tech together. So her palace has to be, and her surrounding area has to be this weird amalgamation of organic life with technology and robotics. So it was kind of a challenge. But anyway, a nice shot of Wonder Woman here with a lot of hair. There's Superman there. There's the team. Here's a pretty good Superman page. And again, we'll zip back to earlier in the issue when they're actually coming down, and there's some aliens, and then we've got some Wonder Woman and some Flash and some Superman. And this page has nothing on it but aliens, but it does have a cool close-up of Superman that I kind of liked, and that's why I wanted this page. Here's a shot where they're towing in the that big ship from the very first page to the alien world. These are all inked by Matt Ryan, by the way. He does a fab job. And then I got the big explosion, the last page in the panel, or last page in the issue. These pages range from probably 250 to maybe that splash with the monster on it would be like 400, maybe something like that. So anyway, if you're interested in these pages, contact me directly and I'll be able to quote you prices. Let's take a look at issue 49. We start off with the splash page from the issue, which has Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, after the explosion that we ended the last issue on. So I guess I should say spoiler alert if you haven't read these issues yet, but so read them if you haven't read them. I got a great shot of the Green Lantern. That's my favorite page in the book. I wish it was, from a sales standpoint, you wish it was either like, Wonder Woman, Batman, or Superman, but it is a great shot of Green Lantern. So even if, I might keep it just because I like it so much, but it's kind of a cool splash. And then we got a splash of Batman getting roughed up by some alien goons. So that's technically a big Batman splash. It's a nice little panel page with Batman and Superman on it. Batman and Wonder Woman down here, or pardon me, Superman and Wonder Woman down here at the bottom. That's a nice Wonder Woman page. Batman and Wonder Woman. I really kind of dig this close-up of Batman down here, but it's got a big brain in it, I mean, come on. Doesn't get any better than that. It's a fairly nice Superman page. This is after the explosion. The balcony's all wiped out. You can see some of the tech elements down here on the ground. There's Wonder Woman kind of looking out over the balcony, and the aliens are feuding, the two different races, and Superman joins in because he's getting a little ticked at their juvenile behavior, and smashes down in the middle of them and scares the crap out of him and goes, oops, maybe I was a little too forceful. That's a good Superman page. Batman and Wonder Woman, along with the captive alien queen, kind of discussing matters. Nice big face shot of Wonder Woman there in the middle. This is Wonder Woman sort of telling a fable about a giant warrior who reluctantly ruled a bunch of people. She's, kind of making a metaphor to the situation they're in and trying to rule this alien race. Got some nice flash action down here at the bottom. This is kind of a fun flash page. It also has Wonder Woman, Batman in it. Flash zipping around doing stuff. I won't ruin the joke that's on this page if you haven't read the issue. And I got Superman and the Flash here. This is also kind of a funny little dialogue scene between the two of them with Batman down at the bottom. And Wonder Woman with the alien kids, they're always cute. And another page with aliens, Wonder Woman, Flash, alien kids. As Stanley would say, let's face it, true believers, this one's got it all. So anyway, those are the new batch of Justice League pages that I just got back from my inker, Matt Ryan. Now, I still have actually Wonder Woman, Justice League pages available from my previous 2 issues. So, you can contact me about those if you're interested in that stuff as well, because they're not listed anywhere yet. All my new stuff is not listed on my website, unfortunately, yet. Okay, so somebody wanted me to flip through my sketchbook. So I'm going to do it again. But you know what? I think I'm going to move it over here so I can actually sit down. Just look at that, just fantastic camera movement. I'm so professional. All right, that's my dirty desk. You guys have seen that before, I'm sure. All right, so let's take a look at the wonders hidden inside my sketchbook. Raw imagination. 20 years of sketches. I know. I got to get rid of this Aaron Con 4 banner because it takes up too much room. We'll just go to the little Aaron Lopresti banner. Put me in my place with the little banner. Sean Corcoran, what issue was that? Those were the last one I showed was issue 49. First issue was 48. Oh my gosh, Stephen Ing says I'm running opposite of San Diego Bugs Bunny panel. Ooh, a Bugs Bunny Blu-ray box set. I have like the complete collection from years ago of all of them on DVD. Anthony is here joining us. Hi, Anthony. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Let's take a look inside the sketchbook. I have colors on the first 2 pages, which I think is sort of decorative. This is the sketch page. If you want to sketch in it, I left it blank simply for that reason. As you can see down here, has my name, which proves that it's my book, and 750. So I fill in the number here, I sign it, and it becomes part of the signed and limited edition, signed and numbered edition. I have an introduction I actually wrote myself. It was edited, so there shouldn't be any goofy mistakes in there. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of the art. I'm not going to show you every single page because then why would you buy the book, right? Where's the mystery? So anyway, we saw these earlier, but I'll flip through these again real quickly. There's a lot of John Carter of Mars stuff in this book. That's a painting I have hanging in my hall that I did for a children's book idea that never got off the ground. Can you imagine a horrifying creature like that in a children's book? Yeah, brilliant idea, Aaron. Well, there's some more. Most of it is fantasy stuff like this. There's some pulp stuff. The Shadow, Doc Savage. This was from a portfolio I did, wow, back in the mid-90s called Strange Worlds. And this is the pencil to the one of the finished pieces in there, although I changed the girls in it. There's a nice John Carter piece. Now there's about 30 some pages of images in here that have never been seen before. This is one. It's a half finished John Carter piece. It's got some, humorous stuff in it. Some trolls, which I love to draw. Some more John Carter stuff, some more trolls. Let me show you some of the color stuff that's in here. Most of it's in the back. I mean, like Lord of the Rings, plus some Dark Crystal. Uncle Sam threatening Hitler. And the other two dudes, Hirohito and the Italian guy. Man, I tell you, old age is a great thing. Jungle Book. Who would have known I ever did any Jungle Book stuff? There it is. Little. If you remember the print Warrior in Repose I showed you earlier, that's the pencil from it. Some gothic looking stuff, a little kind of swamp creature thing up there, some Conan stuff. That's kind of a cute piece there, a little creature from the Black Lagoon and a mermaid. So there's lots of, sharks, vampires, there's all kinds of stuff. There's a nice little cave girl and some Star Wars princess stuff in there. Some Disney stuff, copyright infringement, Lord of the Rings stuff. So there's all kinds of just fun stuff in here. So it's well worth it. Like I said, 64 pages, limited edition. So if you don't have one, you should really, really consider ordering. Mussolini, that's the dude. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of that. Thank you. Okay. I'd buy that children's book. You and me would be the only two. Okay. All right. So I have I've taken on some sketch requests, which I want to do, especially during these conventions. And these are, my list is full, sadly, I think. I'm waiting. Some people sent me some books to sketch in, and they haven't shown up yet. So if they don't show up, I may have a couple slots. But these are $200. They're penciled, inked, and gray markered. And I think the shipping on them is $15 in the US. If you're outside the US, it's more than that. Okay, so what do we got? We've got, let me bring up my home commission list and see. Well, the first one on my list is a Ms. Marvel. So, but I know John isn't going to be here tomorrow. So if I could save the creature for Saturday. I'll save the creature for Saturday, I think. So we'll do Ms. Marvel. Now, if you order a sketch, I'm not going to do all of them online because obviously that would be impossible, because I'm not going to, pull an Andy Warhol and turn the camera on for 8 hours. You can just watch over my shoulder me sketching, but I will try and do several of them. Of course, the challenge for these things is always coming up with a new pose, which I really don't know that I can do that anymore, because I've done so many of these things. Maybe I should be a little bit more clever, like Adam Hughes is when he does his sketches, and they're always really full of humor. And I think they're great, but I always think when I'm doing sketches, people probably want the best full shot of the character they can get, more of like a pinup of their favorite character. So it's kind of like, do I do something funny and cute that maybe isn't the best representation of their character or of the character they want? I mean, it might be a better piece of art, but it may not be what the person asking for the art really would like. So, and since I've spent most of my career doing these things as kind of full figure, just, pretty much standard superhero poses, I think that's what people expect. And so if they wouldn't get that, then I don't know if they'd be disappointed. And Stephen Antonio is joining us from Hawaii. How about that? Nice. Which Ms. Marvel, though there's only one Ms. Marvel, Bert. Do you even need to ask that question? The collector is here. The collector who has a comic collection to be envied. I know I do. Yeah, it ticks me off that I've been collecting comics since I was 9 years old. And there's so many great books that I don't have. And I'm like, how is that possible? But I think it's possible because I quit spending money on the comics in the 80s.
Oh, I thought you were saying now. I'd be like, he's lying.
No, I spend plenty of money on comics now, but if I'd bought them in the 80s, they'd been a heck of a lot cheaper than they are right now. Can I help you?
Just looking for the realtor information.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're so done.
Are we at that stage again?
We are so at that. So
yeah, we bought a manufactured home to house my father-in-law and my sister-in-law in, and let's just say
let's
just say she's
full stack of cards.
She's not being as grateful as she probably
Oh my
should
gosh,
be.
she's evil, horrible.
So
smearing me all over Facebook.
So Shelly's coming in looking for the paperwork to the.
I'm done.
Oh boy. See,
anybody want to buy a nice mobile home?
You don't get this kind of drama on everybody's live feed. I mean, this is like Dallas. This is like J.R. Ewing kind of stuff. Probably half of you guys probably don't even know who that is. So
you're old.
I'm too old to, I should have referenced somebody new. It says Newburgh House. It might be under.
Find me.
It might be.
Okay, it says Newburgh Home. Okay.
That would be it.
Trying to find the same guy.
Is our dog still alive, by the way?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he was down there.
I caught him out there in the yard chewing on a Mr. Clean pad.
Oh, Aaron.
Yes. Beep. Then there's another one back here.
Or did you take it out and put stuff back in?
No, I'm pretty certain that. Okay, tell a humorous story, Shelly, while I.
Humorous story. Oh my gosh, if I was in a better mood. Tell
us your best con story. You got
my best. Yeah. Definitely not sitting in the bathroom for hours on end with a colicky baby. That was not a highlight.
Or puking. Didn't you get like food
poisoning? E. coli
from
at the same time
from McDonald's, right?
Yeah. That was not my finest moment. I think their first trip to Germany was my most favorite one.
That was
because we're still friends with the people that were there. And then one of them, Thorsten, actually came to San Diego to surprise me a couple years ago.
That's right. Now they work
and I started crying.
They work for
Panini.
Panini. That's the European publisher of collected editions and stuff.
Yeah, but I just took him out.
Okay, see, he's freaking out.
Oh, the door.
Oh my
gosh!
Screaming,
big baby. Husker Boo. No.
Well, that was a nice distraction, don't you think? Get to hear some personal information about our family life. That as I'm digging, where the heck? See, of course, now I can't find it. Oh well. We have a no eviction policy right now going anyway in Oregon because of COVID-19. Oh man. Let's see. John, I will pass on your sentiments to Shelly as she vacated for the time being. So yeah, real life problems at the Lopresti household.
The beast.
I don't know what it was in here. It was like the deed and all that stuff. It's under a different file, but I can't remember where I put it.
Not anymore. You're
just gonna have to wait till I'm done because I can focus on. Oh, should I show the dog? Well, I'll show you.
No, don't show me.
John Smith says hi, by the way.
Hi.
He says hi, Shelly. He says he misses you.
You can show my beautiful arm. Let's see.
She had shoulder surgery. Look at that bruise.
Brutal. So my
dog just bit my face.
My dodgeball days are over. Husker, what time
did he just bit my face? Pretty much now.
Okay, maybe that's why he's eating your face. He's hungry. I'll go feed him.
All right. So I do like two-thirds kibble and then just like a third of
Okay. It's not my first rodeo.
Look at that close up of my chin. That's why you come to see this kind of stuff. Oh, look, I have a Captain Marvel shirt on. That is like so Comic-Con right there by Frank Cho. I'm kind of jealous because I want to do one. There's my leg. Okay, so back to the business at hand. Boom, Ms. Marvel. Cheryl Lane, family drama. Isn't it fun? She knows family drama too. We all do. Okay. So I'm curious how many times I've told the story of being mistaken for Adam Hughes. Have I told that story like a million times? And you're going to be like my daughter going, I've heard this story a million times. Don't tell it again. Has anybody not heard the I was mistaken for Adam Hughes stories? So I'll tell them if you haven't heard it. But if you have, and I would require someone to actually post it and kind of answer my question because I can't really read minds. I'm waiting. Bert Van Vliet says, I don't think I've heard it. Well, okay, there's one person. Okay, so I'll tell it again because it's fun. It's worth telling. So I was at WonderCon in Oakland, back when WonderCon was in Oakland. Oh, see, Warren Montgomery says, yep, I've heard it. Well, Warren, you're going to have to suffer through it again now. Cheryl says she hasn't heard it. You don't even know who Adam Hughes is, Cheryl, so it doesn't mean as much. Of course, Adam is a living legend within the industry, quite an accomplished artistic talent, I should say, in the industry and outside the industry as well. Yeah, it was really, Lloyd Delegard says, that was an amusing, nice puppy. Yeah, when he bit my nose, it was fantastic. When he gets hyper, oh my gosh, he's just totally out of control. But most of the time, he's really cool. But he does get a little hyper, especially at dinner time. So I'm at WonderCon. I'm sitting up in this kind of bar area that was really closed. I mean, it was a nice little lounge area that was up on the second floor in a balcony that sort of overlooked the rest of the hall. And I was up there with Phil Noto and Adam Hughes, and Allison Sohn was up there. And Adam was, actually I thought was quite nice, was doing sketches for a couple of guys that he didn't get them finished for during the show, right? So, hey, Josh Olive has joined me, or joined us. And so he's working on these sketches. He's sitting across from me. You know, there's like this big, here, let me do a diagram for you. So there's like a chair here, right? There's a couch here. There's like a big coffee table right there. And there's a chair over here, and then a chair right here. Okay. Can you even see that? You can't because I didn't draw dark enough. Anyway, I'm sitting here in this chair. Allison's here. Adam's across the coffee table, and Phil Noto's on the couch, and some other dudes are. And so Allison has her sketchbook with her. She goes, Aaron, would you do something with my sketchbook? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. So I did a Poison Ivy for her, and I kind of, you know, because his, you know, Adam Hughes' wife now, girlfriend then, I guess, was like, you know, I've got to do, you know, something kind of good in here, or I'm, you know, because I'd be going to be compared to Adam's work, right? So I really went to town, and somebody had some colored pencils. In fact, maybe I had my own, I don't know, but I did this like full color piece for her of Poison Ivy. And these two couples come up, and they've been drinking, so they were a little rummy, as you might say. And the guy, he goes around to all of us and is kind of looking over our shoulder. I don't think Phil was drawing. He may have been. But Adam and I were drawing. And so he goes over and looks over Adam's shoulder, and he goes over and looks at mine, and, you know, and I don't know what stage Adam's drawing was at that point, but mine was pretty far along. And he goes, wow. He says, I can't even tell you what an honor it is to finally meet you, you know, to be sitting here watching you draw. And I thought, anybody, like I said, and the last time I told the story, I tell the same story every time, but it's true. Anybody starts pumping me up that hard, it's kind of like he thinks I'm somebody else. And so he finally goes, I just can't believe I'm finally getting to meet Adam Hughes. Okay, so the whole room goes silent for about 2 seconds and everybody busts up laughing. And I go, dude, I go, I'm not Adam Hughes. I go, that's Adam Hughes, guy sitting across from me. And he's like, oh, wow, man, I'm so sorry. He goes, oh, but this is really good. And, you know, so he goes over and looks at Adam's stuff and talks for Adam for a while. And we're still, you know, laughing. And he comes back to me and he says, well, he goes, you got to cut me some slack, man. He says, you can't expect me to know every new guy that comes into the industry. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've been in the industry for 15 years. Everybody starts busting up again. And so yeah, it was one of the many humiliating moments. The guy asked me to do a little sketch on a napkin for him, though. I think he felt really bad, so I drew Man-Thing for him and sent him on his way. And that's not the first time, or that was not the last time I got mistaken for Adam. So it's very, not that it happens a lot, but when it happens to you more than once, I'm not sure if I should be flattered or insulted. But anyway, insulted that they have no idea who I am. I mean, I'm flattered, of course, that they would somehow think that my work was on par with Adam's, but wow, yeah, it is kind of humiliating. And yeah, so that's what keeps me humble. And Johnny Fitz says, Aaron, I got to head out. Okay, man, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay, so there's our figure for Ms. Marvel. This would be the bald version of Ms. Marvel. So actually it's Moondragon. So not really. So we have to go in here and give her the big, I guess it's a lightning bolt, right? Isn't that what that is? Works for me. And she has her little belt sash. You know, it makes perfect sense to have Ms. Marvel become Captain Marvel once, you know, Captain Marvel died. But I do sort of miss the old Ms. Marvel costume, you know. It would have been nice if they could have kept Ms. Marvel and then, you know, made somebody else Captain Marvel, although I guess it makes sense that Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel, but because that new Ms. Marvel, ugh, yeah. Okay. Was that Steve Wyatt's SuperCon 2006? You drew a Black Canary for Stewart with a drunken watcher on the back. No, that was a different one, Steve, and it was in the same location, but it wasn't the same night. This was like a year or two later, because I'd actually that con, I think I got Adam to actually do a sketch in my sketchbook, as I recall. I'm pretty sure. Although, wait a minute, no, that might have been you. You know what? You might be right. That actually may have been the same con, now that I think about it. It was a long time ago. I know that because it was like, what, 20 years ago, maybe? It had to have been at least 15. Oh, I'm going long hair. Stephen Antonio wants to know if I'm going short or long hair. And I go, well, it's Ms. Marvel. She never had short hair as Ms. Marvel. That only became a thing, I think. Well, I'm doing long hair. Because I worked on her for 2 years. That didn't sound right. I drew the series for 2 years, and so I'm basically going to do my version of her. So it's funny. I seem to be known for Wonder Woman, but I think I was on Ms. Marvel longer than I was on Wonder Woman. But I guess Wonder Woman's would be considered more high profile, at least at the time I did it. Gotta have long hair, man, because you got to use the hair as sort of like a design element. Should I change my scroll? I think I'll change my scroll. And I don't mean super scroll. I mean the scroll at the bottom of the page. This seems important. All prints signed, $15 a piece, the free shipping this weekend only. And that's the exception. The exception is that giant Jaws poster. Yeah, Bert, you actually have a couple of Ms. Marvel commissions. I think sitting on a cliff drinking coffee in the morning or something is one that you wanted. Okay, Steve's giving me the thumbs up on the, he likes the long hair, so. Um, all right, so we got some eyes blocked in there. I'm going to tell you, it is not easy drawing at cons, especially if you have a lot of people watching you, and which is the case, and talking, entertaining the masses. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to be so presumptuous to assume that I'm entertaining you, but I am talking while I'm doing this, and I just think you guys should really. What was it that Mr. Fox, Lucius Fox, said to Batman about when he's preparing the antidote? I just wanted you to know how difficult it was. So that's why I'm saying all this. I just want you to know how difficult this is. The other thing is I have to sort of draw in the dark here, as I've complained about before on other broadcasts. Is this a broadcast? Is that technically, can you call a live stream a broadcast? But because I get too much reflection off the white paper, I can't really turn the overhead lights on. So I'm like drawing in the dark. I'm like squinting through my glasses because it's so dark in here I can't see. But it looks fine to you. All right, let's take a look at what we've achieved so far. It looks like, we may be onto something here. Well, Lloyd Delagarde, or Delagarde, who is known as, I don't know, I shouldn't probably give your secret handle away on Twitter, but has quite an enormous comic collection, and is saying that he says, yeah, I remember your Ms. Marvel run. I still have it somewhere, and I believe it. But I would guess finding it in Lloyd's collection would be a bit of a chore. My collection's only about 1,400 books strong, and I used to have long boxes full of stuff. I mean, when I was younger, I collected everything. Well, everything Marvel. I had Daredevil, like 4 and up, I think. First Prince of the Purple Man. That would have been Daredevil 4. So, yeah. And, Avengers and... but see, I started collecting in about 1975, 76. That's when I started collecting back issues. So, I still didn't have like Avengers #1 or any of that kind of cool stuff. And they were still like way too expensive for a 12-year-old kid to get. And I still don't have them. But now, I buy expensive books and I pay the price now. But I try to get them at a good deal so that at least if I have to sell in the future, I can at least get my money back out of them. I think you just got to be wise that way. I mean, if you're buying crappy grade comics just to fill out your collection, and that's a different story. That's not, price isn't as big a deal, but I don't like getting rid of the comics once I get them, and I usually don't, but occasionally I have traded to get some stuff, especially Golden Age books. Look at that hair flowing. That's what I call hair action. That dude's 35,000 comics in your collection? Holy smokes. Man. You must have had more money when you were a kid than I did. I mean, I spent every dime I made on comics from when I was like 10 years old till I got my car when I was 16. And I did quit buying a ton in the 80s because I was in college and I didn't have any money. So I really didn't buy any back issues. I didn't buy any new stuff. I started getting it again when McFarlane took over Spider-Man, but that was late 80s. Yeah, I picked up Rocketeer stuff when that came out. But, it wasn't, I had a girlfriend, and you know how expensive that gets. And although she had more money than I did, she actually had a job. I was still in school. So I'm really tempted to take you over to my drawing table and show you the double page Justice League spread I'm working on right now, but I really can't do that. That's just kind of a unkind tease right there for issue 50. Those of you who have read my blog or kept up on, my comments on Twitter and other social media outlets will know that I often complain about drawing splash pages and double page spreads because they take so much more time to sort of figure out and execute correctly, so that that's a big deal. A splash page is a big deal. A double page spread is a huge deal. So I spend a lot of time drawing and redrawing and throwing stuff away, planning it out, and it doesn't look the way I want it to look, kind of, so I hate them because there's so much more extra work. It reminds me of the great quote that's attributed to Kirby, where he allegedly said, "Yeah, you guys don't pay me to erase." So, and I'm not quite that bad about it, but, I hate drawing and redrawing stuff. And I always end up doing that when I do a double page spread, because it's a really big piece of art and there's a lot of things to take into consideration. And so there. But I've got one that I think is turning out really, really well. And so I'm kind of sort of pleased with it, which I don't get to say that much, because a lot of times I'll be very disappointed in my splash pages or my double page spreads. I'll think, man, I could have done that much more dynamic, or why didn't I do this? But man, you're always challenged by your deadlines. I just have this really sort of almost ridiculous sense of responsibility. And, it's like when you guys get commissions from me, you get them back like in a couple of weeks, because I'm not going to take your money unless I'm drawing your picture. I'm just not going to take your money and sit on it for months or years, like unfortunately some people do, and then sort of ruin everybody else's reputation in the process. And I'm the same way with comics. I want to do my best work. I want to do killer stuff, but at the same time, I know I'm obligated to meet a deadline, and I really try to make sure I do that, because I just have too much guilt when I don't. Although someone great once told me, no one's going to remember if your book is late or not. All they're going to remember is how great it looks. And I went, yeah, that's true. But like I said, it's just hard for me to get past that sense of, professionalism and responsibility of actually doing what you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do it. So I'm more of a commercial artist, I guess, at heart than I'm a fine artist. But my first work, period, in art was commercial art, the commercial art studios. So I had to learn to meet deadlines. That was like, ultra important. Wait a minute, Lloyd says, I inherited 2 collections, my grandfather's and my dad's. Oh, okay, well, that's cheating. My dad, when I was buying comic books, he used to not give me money, okay? Like if I would mow the lawn or whatever, he would not pay me, because he knew I would go and spend it on comics. So I was like fighting not only just the fact that I didn't have anybody, before me that sort of got me into collecting that would leave me their collection. I had actually a dad actively working against me collecting comics. And my dad never really got what I did. He was just like, thought it was, I don't know. I mean, he was a blue collar guy all the way through. And which is where I got my work ethic. So I appreciate that. But it wasn't until I actually started making more money than he did that he sort of went, oh, okay, I guess that's legit. He was quite a character, though. So I went to the mall 2 days ago to get something for my wife's birthday. It was her birthday on Monday. And they had this big semi truck parked in the parking lot of this mall. And they have a big tent and banner set up saying 20 ribeyes for $30. Okay. And anybody that knows anything about steak knows that that's a pretty good price. That's an excellent price. But you obviously you're going to think, well, they're probably really tiny or something. Well, so I went in there, but I had to check it out, because I do love ribeye steaks. I'm not a big steak eater per se, but ribeyes and tenderloins are great. Of course, they're super expensive, right? So I rarely have them. So we go in there, and of course, they set up the old bait and switch, right? Yeah, you can get the ribeyes for $30, or they bring out this huge box like of meat, right? And we got this big package deal. You get X amount of T-bones, you got X amount of hamburgers, you get 2 boxes of tenderloins, you get strip steak, you get ribeyes, And before I know it, they got this, $475 box of meat sitting in front of me. And I'm like, I'm not spending $475 on this. And the guy goes, but today, yeah, right, only, he goes, $185 for all this. And I'm like, that's where he got me, suckered me in, and I bought it. They're all vacuum sealed and individually wrapped, and they're not outrageously good quality, but they're good enough for what I paid for them. But yeah, so now I have like a steak to last me for the next 5 years. I'm usually much better, I'm not an impulse buyer like that. In fact, I usually get sort of defensive when people start trying to sell me stuff. But I have to admit, I did go there with the intent of buying steaks. And boy, did I ever. Not really sure what the value of that story is, but it is a story. So it has to count for something. Okay, I got to put this up because this is funny. Fly Fox Pro says, I just finished a painting. Now to set it with all the others that will never sell. Ah, man, I got a ton of paintings sitting in drawers. So I feel your pain, but I know of which you speak. That's funny. All right, I'm kind of hedging here because I want to make sure that face is everything that I want it to be before I go in and ink it, because that's the money shot, folks. The face has got to be right on. Okay. All right. Well, if I was at a con, I'd ink it. And technically, I'm at a con, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to ink it. Yeah, I think we're good. Can I get in there closer? As close as I can get. I hate it when you get in close. You can see like the little fuzzy bandwidth problem things, and it's like, man, why don't they do these in high def? Okay. tomorrow I'm going to go much later. Like I think 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is going to suck for you guys on the East Coast. I know that. I apologize, but I have to work around some schedules. And then Saturday, I'm going to go early, like 11 o'clock. And then Sunday, I don't know yet. I think it looks good. I got to draw on her pupils. I'm always afraid to because I put them in the wrong spot. Then it's like, bleh. So I guess I'm going to pencil in her pupils, even though they're so tiny, just so I know what I'm doing before I do it. It seems like something that just might work. We'll get the old 0.1 because, well, it's small. We need something small. This would be really great if I actually had a light on that I could actually see what I was doing. The chances of it turning out better would be good. Or the chances of it turning out good would be better. I think that's what I meant to say. Well, it looks great until I erase, but I can go in and do adjustments after I erase. Okay. Now the bad thing about Ms. Marvel is her costume uses a lot of black, which then uses up all my black ink. And then I have to refill them. And these things I hate refilling black because they're so messy. And I'll leave some highlights in here that I can do a little gray with later on. You know, I may have to go to the art supply store tomorrow before I do the next live feed just to get another couple more black pens because I'm not refilling them anymore. They're just so messy. They're not worth it. And then the black, there must be some sort of like varnish or something in there because it starts crystallizing inside the, the filler, the refill, and then it won't even come out. So it's like these things just don't want to be efficiently used. So even though the pens are like $5 a piece, I'm going to go buy a new one, a couple new ones, and suffer. I'm just going to do it. So is anybody on right now that actually goes to San Diego? I'm curious. They had a restaurant there. I want to say it was Johnny Rotten's. And like downstairs was like a bar and a hamburger joint. And then upstairs they had like Italian food and stuff. I mean, it was an amazing go-to spot. It was right in the Gaslight District. And you could always get in because it wasn't a great spot for, to hang out like Dick's Last Resort or someplace like that. And it wasn't really high-end dining. So, people that were there for a really good meal or an expensive meal or whatever, dining experience wouldn't be, trying to jam in there. But we would go in there and they had the best hamburgers. And they had like multiple things on the menu. They're almost like Cheesecake Factory. You can go in there and have like, 4 or 5 different things. And so you didn't have to eat the same thing every night you went there, right? And so we really loved it. And like I said, it was our go-to place. Sometimes we'd eat there 2 or 3 times because we couldn't ever get in any place else to eat because as the artists, we always got out like so much later than everybody else. And so everybody was already, had their spots picked out. And so there wasn't, every place was like a 2-hour wait. Once you get to Friday night, Wednesday and Thursday nights were easy, but Friday and Saturday, and then of course I'm always leaving on Sundays. Now I never stay over because the hotels are so expensive. But anyway, they like, I don't know, 3 years ago it closed, and I was like, it was like our favorite place, and I was just like really ticked off. It took out one of our best eating spots, and I was really. I mean, you should be able to hear how bummed I am in my voice. It was just a really, hamburgers were, oh my gosh, they were amazing. I mean, like tons of stuff on them, nothing that, unless you're a pig like I am, most people would have a hard time finishing the hamburger, and then, basket of fries and all that other good stuff that goes with it. So that's my tragic food story. So you can hear the marker squeaking, which means it's dying a miserable death. I saw somebody using something other than Copic markers the other day on Instagram. I thought it was kind of interesting, because I'm wondering if there's better product out there now. There probably is. I only started using these because I saw Adam Hughes using them. I figured, well, he ought to know. And I think Mark Brooks still uses them, along with acrylic paint. Well, I ain't doing acrylic paint like con commission, I can tell you that. Running out of black. I may have to dig out another black and sort of reinforce this black on here a little bit, but I want you guys to kind of see the process here. I think I should change my banner. Comic Crossings has always wanted to go, but never have. It's quite, well, the thing is, it was really great. Like, well, when I first started going in the late 80s, early 90s, actually late 80s, before it actually moved into the big convention center. It was more like the biggest comic book show you'd ever gone to in your life. It didn't have all this other multimedia stuff. So they were still drawing about 40,000 people for just a comic show. And they had, I mean, all the publishers were there, right? So they had this hallway that went down the middle, and then there was big convention center rooms on either side, right? And this is in the old convention center. And on one side, you had all the publishers, Marvel, DC, back then, Comico, Pacific Comics, Archie, whoever. Small publishers, large publishers, they were all there, right? So you could go and really it wasn't, to get your portfolio seen, you just walk up to whoever's there at the Marvel booth and go grab one of the editors and have them look at your portfolio, right? That's how I got my first job. It's not like that anymore, obviously, but the great thing about it was, then you go into the other hall across the hallway to the other room, and it was nothing but comic book sellers, original art, comic books, movie posters, the kind of stuff you go to San Diego for, right? And it was so awesome. And because I'm a comic collector myself, and that's kind of the reason I like to go to shows. I don't really care about the toys and all that other stuff. It's comics and movie posters and things like that. And then they had Artist Alley all the way there in the back. So you get through all the dealers, and in the back you'd have Artist Alley set up, which is where I first set up. Way back in, I want to say it was 89. So I did 2 years technically as a pro. That's stretching it, I think, calling me a pro. But I think I was working on What the for Marvel. So, I was technically a professional. But not one of any high quality or great fame or name recognition. There was a lot of guys, Dan Brereton and Tony Harris, Cully Hammond, or guys like that were just, Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes was like, back then when I was just doing Maze Agency and just started, I think, to take over Justice League, was his first big gig. So, I mean, we're talking a while ago. But I really enjoyed that show because it was, there was a ton of people there, relatively speaking, but there was, you didn't get trampled trying to get around and look at stuff. And they had, people have old comics now, but man, it's like I was just walking, through one of the aisles, and two dealers were talking. One guy had a copy of Marvel Comics #1. Okay, the Human Torch thing, and it was like the first Marvel superhero book. And that was, for a long time, that was the book. It was worth more than Action #1 and Batman or Detective 27, which is hard to believe now, but it was the book. Everybody wanted, there was a big roller, but here he isn't talking to this guy about doing some sort of cash trade deal with that book. And I was just like, looking over his shoulder at it. I'd never seen one in real life before. And so you could pretty much find just about everything that you were looking for. Now, I guess it was like one of the classic New York cons, but in San Diego, of course. Nicer weather. I'd never been to a con in New York back in that time period because I was just too young and had no cash. But yeah, I do miss it. Now it's just, my gosh, it's just another world. It's like going to Times Square inside a building, it's just crammed with people and bright lights and Bert Van Vliet says there used to be some really good restaurant deals around the con. Then around 2012, 2013, suddenly everyone's normal menu disappeared and became a higher priced list of items. Yeah, I started to figure, well, that's funny that usually it used to be, hey man, can we get a discount on our hotel because we're going to the con? Now they charge you more if you're going to the con. Like I can go to a nice hotel in San Diego anytime during the year and pay less than you do for San Diego. Telling you, man. But I guess there's no going back, right? I went to a comic book show in the Dallas area 2 years ago now, I guess. It was pretty nice. It was just a comic book show. But there's really nothing like a big comic book show like San Diego used to be, because everybody realizes that if you really want to make big money, and that's what most of these people want to do, is you have to have media, you have to have stars, you have to have movie stars and stuff. So you get these big numbers of people, but only a very small number of them are actually there to look at the art and the comics. So it's kind of a bummer in that regard, but I'm this, old conservative guy who kind of bring back the past. So 20 years ago is way better than this today. Well, way better than this year anyway, but I assume used to be my favorite thing about going to cons is, taking some of the day Sunday to walk around and just buy old comics, And now most of the cons I get invited to, they don't even, they're lucky they don't, if they have any comics. What's the Grail comic for your collection? Meaning, what's the comic I want to get, or what's the one I have? I have a Captain America 18 Golden Age. That's the most valuable book I have, but it's not my favorite book. I have a Hulk. Well, I have an Avengers 4 6.5. So that's first appearance, Silver Age appearance of Captain America. That's pretty awesome. And I have a Hulk number 6. That's a 6.0. And that was always one of my favorite books when I was a kid. I'd buy the Overstreet price guides out of the bookstore, and they always had like a cover gallery in them, right? Where they'd show like classic old comics or whatever. And I remember seeing that Hulk 6, and it was a Ditko cover, and it was so funky looking because, you know, Ditko drawing the Hulk just seems really odd, and it is. But he did the entire issue in the cover, and it's just something about it. It was like, oh, that is so weird looking. I want to get that book, and I always wanted to get it. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not like, you know, ridiculously expensive. And I finally got one of those, and that's sort of my 2 books that are my faves. I just picked up a Thor 126 9.2, which is essentially Thor number 1 that I've been wanting to get for a while. If I got a Wiz 22. That sounds bad. Wiz Comics number 22, which has Shazam, Captain Marvel with his arm around Billy Batson. It's a classic cover, right? And I picked up one of those, 6.5 of that. That is pretty cool. And also National Comics 26, Uncle Sam rolling up his sleeve by Reed Crandall was a cover I looked for years and years and years. And not super expensive, but really super hard to find. And so I finally found one of those in decent condition, and I have one of those, and that's also, you know, one I would never sell. The book I would love to have, if I could get a Captain America number 1 from the Golden Age, or All Select number 1, which is Alex Schomburg cover. Those, but they're so far, you know, out of my price range, I could never get them. I'm kind of looking for Zetta's Famous Funnies, Buck Rogers, a couple of those I wouldn't mind having. So that's kind of a lengthy answer to what should have been a very simple question. I'm going to try and contact Terry again tonight and see if he'll come on tomorrow evening or sometime this weekend, so we can plug his book that just came out, Adventure Man with Matt Fraction. It's an Image comic. I highly recommend it. First, you should pick up my Justice League issues, though. Yeah. All right, well, here we go. It's 5:30, which means I got to cook dinner. I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to show you. I'm going to do the marker on this tonight, then I'll show you. I'll have it tomorrow to show you what it looks like. As you can see, I'm going to pull out a little bit here so you can get a better shot of it. I think it turned out pretty nice. But I'll get it all markered up, and I will show you guys what that looks like tomorrow. I'll also post scans of these because they look much better from the scans than the resolution you're getting on this live feed. But let me go over my table again real quick. And since this is Aaron Kahn, my goal is to sell stuff, not just entertain you with crazy drawings. Let's put that back up, and let's plug the sketchbooks on the scroll. Again, not the super scroll, but the scroll at the bottom of the page. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera like that, really super fast, so everybody puke. Okay. Yeah, you know what's behind that closet door? My comic collection. So that's me, AaronLopresti.com. You can always contact me through my website. But again, let's go over this real quickly. I've got the sketchbooks. Raw Imagination 20 years of sketches are $25, signed and numbered, free shipping this weekend only. And if you're watching this after the fact, like you didn't catch it live, but you're watching it later, just contact me. Deal still stands. 64 pages, full color. You can get a sketch inside for $45 total, free shipping. Okay. Comics, $2.50 a piece, signed by me. Have to get $10 worth though. Actually, I said there was shipping on these. I think I'm going to ship these. I'll ship these free. What the heck? They can send them out media mail. So I'll ship these free, but you have to buy at least $10 worth. They're $2.50 a piece. The limited edition covers, the variant covers, only have a scant number of those on the Justice League. So contact me either through Facebook, Twitter, or my email, which is aaron@aaronlopresti.com. It's scrolling there. It's the same as my PayPal address if you're interested in any of those. And also, don't forget, I have Justice League original art, right? We went through the pages. If you didn't see them the first time, go back to when this is done, go back to the start of the video and you can get a preview of that stuff. I've got all my prints, and those are $15 free shipping this weekend. And for those of you who are into Jaws, I have the Jaws movie poster size prints, because it essentially is a movie poster, 24 by 36 signed, and those are $40 a piece. And I'm not sure what shipping is. I think shipping is like $8 on those. I think that's, I'm going to turn this camera onto me, and there I am. Giant head. I'm like one of those issues of DC Comics back in the 60s where everybody had like a giant head. So anyway, this is Aaron Con 4, day 1. We're going to wrap it up right here. Thanks for joining me. We got to see Ms. Marvel tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Saturday we'll be doing Creature from the Black Lagoon. Tomorrow, somebody wants a Wonder Woman Thor amalgam, so we're going to do that. And I may marker one of those up. We may go start to finish tomorrow, because I'm going to do it in the evening. I'm going to put you guys to bed on the East Coast probably, but I may go start to finish, which would be probably 2 hours. So that'll be fun. And I'll try and come up with some better stories that I haven't already told, that I actually can tell, because I'm not saving them for my memoirs. Okay, so anyway, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to drop in and see what I'm doing. And we'll do more of this tomorrow. Like I said, it'll be 6 o'clock Pacific time in the evening. That would be 9 o'clock Eastern. So hopefully everybody will be back from work that is working outside their home. I know a lot of people aren't bored on a Friday night like I am, but if you are, you can join me, because I'll be here. Okay, so great. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining me. Aaron Con 4 San Diego edition, day 1 is in the books, and we will see you tomorrow. And then I'll close this. Boom.